Alright, welcome to part 10 of the Kirby and the Forgotten Land playthrough, where we sue Bethesda. Oh man, no. That's... Holy shit, I just learned so many things about that.
That was definitely a lot.
That was definitely a lot, and you know, people are, I mean, it's kind of half and half, I suppose. I don't know how my feelings are toward it generally, but I know that what we just heard about Fallout 76 was dog shit. But it's just this modern gaming trend that, like, I think some like nostalgic curmudgeons are all hung up over, because like, oh, it's new, that means it's bad. That's not necessarily true, because some of the newer things that are coming out, they are good, and it's few and far between, I'll admit. There are some good games out there that come out in today's age. But let's also not forget that games in the past haven't always been great. There has been some extremely dogshit games in the past. Like all the shovelware titles on the Wii, or like shovelware titles in general, you know? Like, who the fuck remembers fucking Urban Champion on the NES? I don't fucking know. See, nobody knows, because they haven't been preserved as well as the good games of each generation have. So that's probably why people are being mistaken about that. You ever played fucking Jersey Devil? No, you haven't, because you never heard of it. It's a fucking bad game. That's what it is. So, bad games exist, good games exist. It doesn't matter the generation they come. I will admit that there are fewer good games in today's age than there are been back then, but let's just not forget that there are pretty dogshit games in the past. So, I think just a lot of people are just very nostalgic and probably aren't seeing, or like they're seeing something. That's why the indie crowd is a thing in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess for me personally, I'm not all about that. I just like, if the game is good, it's good. If the game's bad, it's bad. If it's in between, we'll figure out why it's in between, you know? That's it. I don't care if it's a AAA or an indie. I just like to see good game design and have it executed well. Yeah, so there's that. But hey, we're in the ice world now, and this is the world that I've been kind of hyping up a bit because of how beautiful the snow is.
Yeah, it does look really nice.
Like, I really love this aesthetic, and especially like not just the snow itself, but just the frost texturings on like the walls right there.
Yeah.
That is some really cool stuff. Pun entirely intended.
It's definitely interesting how, like especially kind of now that the Switch has been out for so long, like people are able to like really kind of use like all the resources they have for like a Switch game to make it look as good as something like this.
Yeah, it's generally how systems have been historically, I'd want to say, because freaking, what are two examples I can think of? Maybe not the best example, but maybe it is. The PS3 generation, when it comes to the exclusives, I should stress, because a lot of games, multi-console games on the PS3 were very graphically inferior. Besides the point, an early generation title on that system, Uncharted 1, and then a very late generation game for the system, Last of Us 1. Made by the same developer also. So there are a lot of... If you just compared the graphics between those two games on its original hardware, the PS3, you can see that Uncharted 1 looks very... it doesn't look... I wouldn't say jank, but you can see a little of the rough edges here and there. when it's compared to Last of Us on the PS3. It's essentially the same graphics engine, but the character models and just environments looked a lot more smooth out than they do in Uncharted 1. So it's a thing generally ranging from... Oh, here's another example, actually. Going back even way further, the NES days. Freaking...
Oh.
Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Like, that was one of the first games on the NES.
Uh-huh.
That... Let's be real. That game has like an 8-color palette.
Yeah, it's very basic.
Yeah, it is very basic, and the graphics are very basic for its thing. Then a late system game on the NES, Kirby's Adventure, which came out in...
Oh, really?
Yeah, that came out in '93, actually.
Huh.
So that has... it's the same system, but there is so much details in that NES game. Like, they take the system and use it to its full advantage to make something really pretty. Like,
yeah.
Kirby's Adventure, unlike Super Mario Bros., has a lot of background imagery, not just clouds and stuff, but actually full-on like hills and stuff. Like, if you could imagine, like, I guess any of those hill backgrounds that you see in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. You could just imagine that, except Kirby's Adventure did it back on the NES. So just imagine that with but 8-bit and a little bit of Kirby flair. So that's exactly what you have. So
interesting.
Yeah. Later system. Wait. How do I phrase it now? Games that came out later on the console system usually that's when developers have a better understanding of the hardware that they're working with. There's more time, more experience with it, so they can push the system to its limits, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we see, and potentially what you see with this game and something like whatever came out in the first year of the Switch. You know? There's that. I guess maybe the snow textures from Super Mario Odyssey compared to this game. I don't really remember off the top of my head because it's been a while, but you know.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember that too, but
yeah, that'd be something to compare it with.
Yeah.
Since Mario Odyssey did come out in the first year of the Switch.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. That was a long time ago. Oh man. Yeah, welcome to year 6. Yeah, year 6 of the Nintendo Switch, ladies and gentlemen. Or heck, Tears of the Kingdom just came out, and Breath of the Wild was like day 1 Switch. I'm sure the graphics have improved a bit, have they?
I mean, I mean, Breath of the Wild was a stylistic game, so I mean, like stylistically, Tears of the Kingdom is very similar, but there definitely are some like differences in how the game is rendered that's better than Breath of the Wild. Mostly because Tears of the Kingdom was designed specifically for the Switch, whereas Breath of the Wild was made for the Switch and the Wii U.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. I forgot about that dead console.
Yeah. There are definitely differences between Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, but like it's stylistically still the same thing. Like, it's using the same like graphics engine and stuff for the most part, but it's
okay, that makes sense.
The render distance, I think, is definitely one of like the big things you could probably notice even in like the trailers and stuff. Tears of the Kingdom has a way bigger render distance compared to Breath of the Wild.
I see. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I hope that there'd be a good render distance for an open world game.
Yeah.
Sonic Frontiers. Who said that? Oh man. But yeah. So has it been confirmed that both games are running on the same engine?
I'm not 100% sure if it's confirmed. I'd have to like actually look into that. But I mean, at least from what it seems like, they're pretty much running on the same. Like they use Breath of the Wild as a framework to make Tears of the Kingdom. I'm assuming. So I'm assuming it's probably the same stuff.
Yeah, that that makes sense, right? Yeah. Purists be like, how dare you reuse textures? Oh man. But okay, yeah. Jump, Kirby. You can do it. There you go. Yeah, this game's art style, like it has a nice blend of like a little bit of realism, but still a kind of cartoonish coat of paint, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess things still have to scream Kirby, but also like the the walls and the freaking the caution signs or whatever they're called, those look pretty realistic. So, but it kind of blends in nice, all things considered. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but it looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I think the snow is very, very beautiful here.
You're just being relentlessly chased by that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's following me! Help! I don't know what I was doing there. I don't think I was paying attention. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. No, see, I'll kill it properly this time. Yeah, the shipping container thing has a pretty neat challenge. It's a pretty neat little platforming challenge here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going in and out, and then you have to like do stuff like that, go inside of the thing, and yeah. Yeah, those little the gotcha figures or whatever they're called, I don't go after all of them. It was not a priority of mine to find them all.
That's pretty fair.
Especially, I only learned this after the fact. I didn't actually know where all of them were at the time. So, yeah, with some of the Waddle Dees, they encourage a bit more exploration, and you can sometimes find secret rooms like that. But what I didn't know is that there are like all other secret rooms specifically catered for the gotcha things, and
yeah,
I didn't know about them, so I didn't show them off. So, oopsie, I guess, or something. Why did my TV just turn off? I don't know why. Well, I guess I can watch it on the Discord. Oh no. Sorry about that. Well, me and Josh just survived 5 nights.
Yeah.
So, everything...
It was terrible.
Yeah. So, I was wondering why my TV just shut off mysteriously.
I was just having a conversation with you, and then my entire room just went dark, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yep, that happened to me too. Oh, man. Yeah, Cameron over here with
and William Afton.
And behind the squatter. It's him.
Fucking East Coast privileges. God damn.
Yeah. By the way, Josh, have you seen the trailer for the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie? The
I have, yeah.
All right, Matthew Lillard as William Afton. All I can say is that's an interesting choice.
What stuff has he done in the past? I don't really know movie people.
Have you seen the live-action Scooby-Doo movies?
I might have when I was a kid.
It was the one at Spooky Island.
It's been a while. I don't know if I can think of it off the top of my head, but
well, if you look him up, he was the guy who played Shaggy, and that's kind of weird.
Really?
He's the guy who's been playing Shaggy for like the last 10, 15 years.
Oh.
He was in the first Scream movie. He was one of the killers in that movie. He was in a weird ass movie. Funny enough, with another guy who's been in the Scooby-Doo movies, Freddie Prinze Jr. It was a movie early 2000s. It was called She's All That or something. He's been kind of known for just kind of like his horror stuff in his early career, and then he kind of just was entirely defined by the Scooby-Doo thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at his IMDb right now. He did stuff in the late 90s, early 2000s. Went MIA for years besides voice acting stuff. And then now he's back doing he's doing the frickin'
He's been the voice of Shaggy for like the longest time. Like he replaced the original voice actor.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently it's because they were very impressed with how he did. And I'll give credit of any character in those original movies. He was honestly the most believable for his character. Because he at least kind of looked like what I would think of a real life version of Shaggy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he talks about in an interview how he essentially had perfected the Shaggy voice. And that he said before the audition for the movie, he sat in his car for half an hour streaming. trying to make his voice raspy.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
He said apparently that got him the job.
Apparently, yeah.
He's playing William Afton.
Huh.
Which is interesting because I know he can do it. You know, he's of the casting list, he honestly seems like the one who could pull off a role like that very well.
Well,
it'll be interesting to see him.
Pardon me for being a very uncultured swine, but maybe I am saving myself some trouble here. I've never played a Five Nights at Freddy's game, so.
Me and John Schaff.
Who exactly is Michael Afton in the lore?
He's purple guy.
So William Afton is. So he is the purple guy, and the purple guy and William Afton are essentially the reason all of this stuff in the Five Nights at Freddy's world is happening.
Yeah.
He is the beginning of it all.
He's the child killer.
Yeah.
So
now
he made the robots?
Technically, there are two purple guys.
Oh.
There is William Afton, the original, and then there's his son, Michael. No, the only difference is that one of them is actually physically purple. So, the original purple guy iteration was used because the style of it was kind of like an 80s like style. They used the color purple to represent shade. And so he was colored purple to symbolize that he was like a shady figure.
Yeah.
However,
I mean, purple in general is usually kind of used as like the villain color.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
But in the actual game, his son Michael gets his intestines scooped out and replaced with robot parts.
Oh.
And his body over time starts to decay, giving him the appearance of being physically purple.
Okay.
You would understand very quickly that the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise gets very complicated very fast.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's at a point now where Unfortunately, the series is pretty much at a point now where you're required to read the books in order to understand what's going on in the more recent stuff.
Don't tell me Five Nights at
Yeah.
Freddy's became the next Kingdom Hearts.
If you didn't read the books or at least look up a synopsis of what happened in the books, you will not understand a damn thing.
Yeah, because
The only way you could understand anything, Ethan, is if you probably watched the Kryptonite of YouTube. And I know it would kill you having to watch a game theory video.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Oh no. I was very, very unaware of how messed up the lore was.
Oh yeah, it's completely fucked.
Because like I said, you kind of have to like go through the books to know what some of the recent stuff's going on. Because there's a lot of stuff about like robot humans and like this remnant stuff or whatever. This like Fazgoo, I think Matt would call it or whatever.
Fazgoo, oh.
And there's like a time traveling ball pit or some shit like that. Like it gets really weird.
Yeah, they deal with some. Josh, I'm sure you remember this better than anyone. When they considered Five Nights at Freddy's for the end.
Originally, the third game was going to be the last one.
It was going to be the last, but there was a fourth one which they said was going to be the end, but it was the end of the original trilogy. Bull fucking shit.
Yeah, that 4 was originally going to be a lot of it. I think like Scott Cawthon actually said in an interview the reason why he kept making more games because he just wasn't happy with like the quote unquote end or something like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And Ultimate Custom Night and stuff, and then you have the VR games, which makes it seem which is like it basically says that like the first like 4 games like were never actually like real. They were like
fabrications.
Yeah.
That it was. But that's not even getting into FNAF World. A game that he has completely wanted to be wiped from memory. For how just a terrible fucking idea it was. Yeah, this honestly, I think it has gone on way too long.
Yeah.
For its own good.
Help Wanted 2 just got announced.
Let's see how that fits in the timeline.
Oh boy.
Well, we'll find something and we'll get another video by MatPat about it.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Next one.